everyone, how are you doing? I already did this, but it was too long, and now I'm going to start coughing. Anyhow, I'll try to go as quick as I can. So I've been sick now for, I think it's 5 days. Headache like nobody's business, worse than the worst migraine you've ever had. And in nursing school, they taught us if you have a headache worse than any headache you had, you should go immediately to the hospital because you could have an aneurysm. But the hospital's a place you shouldn't go to, so I'm just praying it's not aneurysm. But I have other symptoms. I have this horrible, like the worst migraine you've had is a walk in the park. Sore throat, so bad. Swallowing water hurts. Cough, where you cough till you want to throw up. The chills, unbelievable chills. And in my case, with my body constantly hot, the chills are horrible because I'm freezing and I need to put a couple blankets on. So I put it on to try to stop the chills. And then I'll doze off for my little, 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm woken up by severe heat, more than, my baseline now since August. My body is always hot unless it's uncovered. Then it's hot, but not as hot. So this time I covered my arm. I have my hoodie on over my face that would usually be not covered, which would be the only part that is cooler. But I'm trying to stop these chills. I sleep worse than I was, which I was sleeping, 10 minutes here and there. But my legs, everything that's covered is as per normal now since August is hot. And now my ankles are frozen. And the chills are unreal. It's just, I'm shivering, shaking from the shivering. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm shaking from being freezing. So last night I was very cold, very cold. I had some hot chocolate and that warmed me a little, but it was still cold. So I went in my room, put 2 blankets on, and dozed off. It was 5 minutes because I remember looking at the clock right before I dozed off, and then I looked at the clock when I got up again, and my feet were on fire. And my feet, during this heat thing, my feet are never hot. They're always cold. I have poor circulation. I sleep with my socks. I took my socks off because my feet were frozen, were hot. So, and my hands were on fire. So the inside of my hands and the top of my hands have not been hot during this hot thing I have. So I had some bottled water in my room. My room is cooler, so the water was cooler. So I put that on a paper towel and stuck it under my armpits and made 2 more and wrapped my hands in it because my hands were so hot. And during the heat thing that started in August, my hands and feet were not hot. My feet were as normal, cold all the time. My hands were just normal. I totally forgot about that. But when you're this sick, you have time to think. So my only thing normal that weren't hot during the hot thing that started, my hands were not hot. So anyhow, to take all the stuff off, lay there, fall asleep again, the 5-10 minutes, wake up again, shivering. My body is just shaking. I'm shivering. So then I thought I'll put the blanket maybe on the top part of me. I lay on my side and I covered, the arm that I usually leave out, and my face is covered, and there's no helping the situation. I guess if you're, you don't have the problem with a burning hot body, you could just cover yourself and I would assume the shaking would go away. You'd warm up. In my case, I just heat up. I've been taking my temperature a lot more because I thought for sure this must be a fever. This is just unreal. The shiver's so bad. And, for me to gauge the body is hard because I'm at baseline, a hot body. But with the feet and my hands being very, very hot, I thought maybe I'd have fever. Took my temperature, it was 94, which is abnormally low. That's not my baseline temperature. So anyhow, this is, I think, going on day 5. And the big question, you're all probably screaming through the screen, why don't you get tested? Well, I will tell you why. There are no test kits to be found anywhere. Nowhere. And I thought you could just go to the drugstore. I asked Polly's father is supposed to bring me, so now it's Sunday, 3 a.m. So yesterday morning, he said he'd bring me, but he didn't. So I'm just did I say I have a headache? I have the worst migraine. I think I did. So headache, a very bad sore throat, very red throat. Feels like someone took a razor blade in my throat. So headache, very bad sore throat, cough until the point you're going to puke, and shivering. And then in my case, you know, the normal hands became hot and the cold feet became hot. But anyhow, so I called everywhere. No tests are available. I called a 24-hour drugstore. He was really mad. We don't do well, I can't say the word. We don't do testing. I says, well, you don't have to get mad at me. It's not my fault. I'm sick. I don't feel well. And I almost said, you know, you should treat people kindly because you don't know what they're going through. But you know what? It just wasn't worth my breath. So then I called my pharmacy, the one I get stuff at when they open. And she says, it's different now. You can't just drive through. You got to go on our website, and it's all behind. So she said, you probably won't get in for, I don't know, three to 5 days, I think she said. And then it takes another 3 to 5 days to get the result. And she says you should get the test that begins with P. I forgot what she said, because that's more accurate. The other ones are like a pregnancy test that give you false positive, false negative. So you should do, you know, the big test. So, Polly's father also now is sick. So now all of a sudden he's gung-ho to go to urgent care. Well, we'll see. So he's trying to go on the Walgreens site. You got to sign up and all this. I'm not listening to what he's saying. I'm trying to get him, see if we can go to the drive-thru. So you can't get in for a week in that drugstore. And then it's another 5 to 8 days to get your results. So then I called urgent care, the one I used to go to. Haven't gone in years. Knock on wood. Haven't been sick, knock on wood. But anyhow, I mean sick. I got these sick health problems, but sick, you know. Again, knock on wood. So I called them at the urgent care because that's where we were going to plan to go Saturday that he didn't bring me. So she says, you can't just come up and call and we come and test you. We don't do that anymore. So we got a call tomorrow, meaning in 6 hours from now, 9 a.m. when they open, you got to call and make an appointment. You can't make an appointment. I says, can I make an appointment now? I says, we both have to go. He has to go or he can't go to work because that's their protocol. And of course, we're going to leave Polly here, and I don't like to leave him long. And I told her about it. I have a disabled child that I'm leaving alone, so it would be great if I could make an appointment. And I am too sick to drive, so it's not like one person can stay here and the other not. And we're all wearing masks in the house to save Polly from this awful thing, if it is. I know, to me, I feel like it's more like the flu, but I don't know. They said these are the symptoms. So anyhow, so we got a call in the morning, non-stop calling, be patient. I hope we get in. She didn't say we wouldn't, but who knows. But I hope I get in. He'll get in. We'll get in. He'll bring me. It'll be an awful ride of him yelling at me and all that, but I'm too sick to even give a darn. Get there, then you got to call again. Then I don't know if they come and get you or just tell you, you go through a back door, you don't go in the waiting room, and they put you in a room. I hope we're in separate rooms. I don't want to be in the same room, but I'm sure that won't be the luxury. And then they come in, but they have to do a regular test. I mean, a regular exam. It's billed as an exam, so of course, you know, they get money for the insurance. It's an exam, which I don't know if they'll really examine us. They do have an x-ray machine. But I'm thinking because of, you know, this virus, will they do an x-ray on someone who's asking for a test? And they'll do the test, but the test costs $150 plus, I can't remember, it's been so long, it's either $25 or $50 copay for the exam, plus the money they get from the insurance. So that would be $200. I don't know how I'm going to pay that because it wasn't in the budget, because I wasn't planning on getting sick. So, I don't know. All I can say is prayers. Prayers, first off, that Polly does not get this god-awful thing. It's horrifying. And that I don't have the awful thing, and it's just a bad cold, or I don't know. But I don't yet, knock on wood, have no body aches. So I think by the 5th day I would have got them. My neck hurts more, but my neck, I have days where my neck hurts more than usual. So I really can't go by my neck. My headache is worse than usual. But usually when I get a worse neck ache. My head hurts more, but my head has never hurt this bad. So the headache is unbelievable. I don't even know what word to describe it. It hurts so bad, and my eyes feel sick, like when you have a fever. But I have no fever. Did I mention I've been taking my fever just to check, and it's been 94, which makes no sense. That's not my baseline before August, before the heat thing happened. So it's very hard. I'm freezing. I go to cover up. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes, whatever, I am burning. And the difference now is my hands were never hot. I forgot about that till this happened. So my hands started getting hot. And my cold feet, I've had cold feet for years, they got hot. So I took off my socks. I always sleep with socks. I don't know if I told you this part. So I put water on top of paper towels, stuck them under my armpits and around my hands to try to cool my hands down in my body, because obviously my hot body got hotter because I wrapped myself in a blanket. So it's a living, you know what, because I have this hot body on top of whatever is wrong with me. Oh yeah, and I'm losing my voice on and off too. So those are my symptoms, and that's the problem, and it's ridiculous, you know. Go get tested. The doctor, the pediatrician, they'll say if you have any signs of anything, you sneeze, nose, throat, test, get tests right away, home tests, any test. There's no tests anywhere. I guess there were tests around, I don't know, I haven't lived the house in 2 months. I guess people were buying up tests before the holidays, and so there's no tests. So I don't know why people are doing this, but anyhow, that's where I am. So hopefully he'll bring me today. Hopefully we'll get in. I have to make his appointment and mine. And then we just wait. It will be, I don't know. It will be when we'll get the test results. So hopefully this doesn't get worse. But I'm on to day 5 of feeling like total crapola. So appreciate any prayers. Subscribe. I read your comments. I just can't write. And I've been putting up videos that haven't brought, you know, didn't put up by missed them or whatever. So, but I did put one up about grief. I got that out somehow. So, but that's all for now. I feel a coughing attack coming on. Stay well. I hope you don't get this horrible thing. Oh yeah, and I get hoarse voice. Bye for now, everyone. Stay well.